What's up, everyone? So I'm gonna go over a few steps that I took to create this. So yeah, let's get into it. All right, let's remove a bunch of layers. So this is my sketch, right? So one thing, the first thing that you should focus on is to make sure that all your letters are closed. Like if you have a circle, right? But the circle is not closed, whenever you drop your color in, it'll bleed out, right? So you got to make sure that you close it. So when you drop your color in, it'll stay in. Another thing, you can increase or decrease the amount of strength your fill has. So say for example, see how it's like less filled. Oh. So if you ever have those lines, you got to increase it. Because what happens is, so like when I first mentioned when it's not sealed, sometimes you'll have like, it'll be sealed, but it'll be so thin that's when that comes to effect. So, see? So there's a threshold. It's like you could push past that small boundary right there. But anyways, yeah, let's get into it. So here's my sketch. Four finger tap clears clears everything on your screen. Four finger tap brings it back, right? Like all your tools. Make sure your sketch is solid and closed. But what I like to do is make sure that when you're drawing, that everything is on its own layer, right? So, okay. So now you've got your sketch. So now you gotta add a layer, right? So here, let's add a layer. Make your line work. Reference. Shoot. Okay, so your bottom layer is reference. Top layer, your blank layer, is going to be that you use to fill in. So let's go. We could use red. See, you just drop it in. And then instead of doing that over and over, what you could do is go continue filling and just touch it. Touch everything you want to fill in. This is why I was telling you to make sure that all your lines are closed so you could just fill them in. Because if not, it's gonna bleed through. It's gonna cover the whole page. It's just a lot easier to do it this way. Okay, so we've got, so see like this area here. Watch, if I increase it, it'll fill it. See? So the threshold goes up and it's going pushing through those boundaries right there. See? Bam. Okay. The next step that I like to do is so I'll group these two. So I duplicated that layer because I want to flatten this one, right? That's gonna be my background. So outline is black, so let's make it black for now. So you could there's two ways to do that. So say you have that, but you want to make it all black because it's gonna sit in the back of these. You could either say select and then go black and then go fill layer, right? Another way is just go to your hue, saturation, and brightness and just make it black. Bam. So now it's black. So now you could drop it, right? Usually I like to make it smaller so it looks like it's sitting inside. And now what you could do is you take your corners. Oops. Okay, here's another one. Two fingers goes back. Two fingers goes back. Three fingers goes forward. Right? Okay, so make it smaller. Oh, we missed that little spot on the red. So you could go to your red. Just fill it in. Okay. Obviously, I'm doing this rough because I'm trying to rush through it, but I'm just kind of trying to explain how I get things done. So, if you want a spot color, choose. If you want a spot, how do you say that? If you want to pick a color, you can hold it, and that little wheel comes up, and you could choose something that's already on your page. Just the easiest way to do it. So we go. So you line up all your. This is where you increase the size. So line it up. So this will all be black. So that corner lines up to this corner, that corner to this corner, and it's kind of like going, the shadow's going this way, right? So everything's gonna go this way, this way, this way, this way, that corner to that corner, that corner to that corner, that corner to that corner. Hopefully I'm not rushing too much through this. Let's fill. See that corner to that corner. Basically, you're taking your shadow corner to your front piece corner. That one to that one. Right? I'm trying to rush through this a little bit so I'm not taking forever. Let's fill this in. Alright, let's go. Okay, so there's your 3D. Now, a little trick that I like to use. This is why I like to have everything on a separate layer, because I like to add a clipping mask. So you add a layer, that layer, you do a clipping mask, and anything that you do on that layer only shows on that layer. So like here, I'll show you. So that has a clipping mask. That layer has a clipping mask over the black, over the shadow, right? So when I draw, it's only showing up on the black, right? So what I like to do is I like to use the airbrush, and I'll do like little highlights. So I'll go from like the corner. Where's the light going? The light's going this way. So get a little highlight here. Right? A little highlight there, little highlight there, little highlight there. I mean, I'm super rushing through this because I don't want to make like a 3-hour video, but right. So this, I forgot that corner to that corner. Oh well, let's keep going. I guess I should probably really actually do a full breakdown. Probably do like a 30-minute video, right? And then I like to go back to my pen, go with the original black and kind of clean things up. Actually, you know what? Black is that's the wrong color to use, because watch, let's go. What color should we use? Purple. Purple is perfect. Select and then fill. Right, so now I added that. And then the way that I like to paint every layer is the rule of 3. So basically every layer, so the purple layer is one layer, the outline is another layer, the fill is another layer, right? Every single one of those should have 3 tones. So let's go. We did our first one right there, right? Now you could go darker. Where's the airbrush? So now we start laying our shadows.